and that obviously gives you resilience over a period of time. But so the one thing is never assume anything, and then always have that inquisitive or curious mind. And sometimes you might be right, so push for things then when you're right.
So do you have any tips on how to deal with a boss that you disagree with?
Look, it's always a hard one.
It's very hard.
It's very hard one. And again, they talk about this two-stage escalation or three-stage escalation kind of thing. You be assertive. And I guess it comes down to how you have a rapport and how you communicate. Sometimes people ask questions, but then how you ask question is also there is a art to that. And I think there is a book called as a beautiful question. It's how to ask a question in a non-threatening manner. And sometimes those kind of languages help you to or make other person to understand where you are coming from. And I think that's always the first step, to always don't afraid or don't be shy to ask question. It's the way you ask the question should be more inquisitive, curiosity question, and more in a polite manner to make your point very clear. Obviously, if that doesn't get through, then the next escalation is about, okay, I understand you think that, but my thinking is this. So explain your thinking process, why you say so or why you think so, and back it up with concrete observations or facts that you got. And the third one is document. If you still have a disagreement, but you clearly think that this is the way, you have probably every single right to say, this is what I thought, and this is what I feel or what I think in this is thing.
And I think a very important point in medicine is it's important to have good leadership, and everyone, even interns, can lead in their own respects. But it's important to have good followership.
Yes.
And that's what we're talking about. So how do you be a good follower even if you disagree? And so definitely, if you're in a resus, you have to follow the team leader. You can express your disagreement if the time allows for it, but then you recognize that this and it's very military. It only works if there's one person making the decisions. If everyone is their own boss, then it's not teamwork.
Yeah.
So have you ever had someone disagree with you when you're the boss, and has that changed things, or do you have any?
Yeah, no, it happens. In ICU environment, it happens a lot of times.
Right.
There's always disagreements, but also I guess
that's good. That's approaching the truth, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to work it out. Yeah.
And I think that's the beauty of this thing. And I think if you want to read the book called as "Thanks for the Feedback," I think it basically tells you how to receive the feedback. So sometimes
it's hard, though,
it is hard.
I try to think. Everyone has an ego, right? And it's like, oh, you're right, I'm wrong. Oh, yeah.
And I think that's, but as long as you have the right intentions for the patient, and I think the patient is in the center of the whole conversation, and I think that should be the main focus. So over the period of time, you learn to accept or acknowledge, and I think that's what I always tell the juniors now, that the acknowledgement is the first step, acceptance is the second step.
Very nice.
So you need to acknowledge there will be differences of opinion between different teams or even within your own team. And as long as you acknowledge and everybody has entitled for their opinion, that's the start. Whether you accept or agree is the second step. But at least start with the acknowledgement.
And that sounds like a really good way of ensuring that everyone feels respected, which is another big thing in medicine. Is everyone needs to respect each other, because it's such, we don't understand the human body 100%. If we did, we could just get a computer to do it.
That's
so
right.
We're all trying our best
Yes.
to understand what's happening.